but we're better looking than you. So we got that.
Look at the shape of his head.
Yeah, Scott's got a beautiful head. Scott's got great eyes. Okay,
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'm the commissioner, bitch.
I'm the commissioner, bitch. Mic drop. The Giants. I'm actually tickle pink over their draft, if that's okay to say, tickle pink. But I really do. I love what they did with Toney. I love how they traded back and got a first rounder from the Bears next year. They were saying they were getting picks next year because the draft next year is going to be deeper. There's more people in it because of COVID this year. They allowed a lot of guys to keep their eligibility anyway, even though it would have been up next year. Yes. So the Giants really did well by getting the Bears first because it's going to be a bad pick. It's going to be a good pick.
No, that's true. But listen, let's talk about the range of emotions that we experienced on draft night. Because this is basically it. After the Eagles threw the last game of the season and cost us a playoff spot by not playing Jalen Hurts in the fourth quarter, right? Okay?
I did not love that.
Okay, so they screw us out of a playoff spot, right? Now we're ready to draft the Heisman Trophy winner Devontae Smith. You know, we're like, all right, we're going to get him. And they make a trade with Jerry fucking Jones and the Cowboys.
Look, I was livid at that, man. That was something where, first off, I didn't see it coming. Second off, we get fucked again. It's almost like as if the NFC East is just conspiring against the Giants. You know, like that. But look, in the end, the football gods made it work out for us because I really believe Toney is a monster piece. I think he fits the Giants receiving core to a T. I really love that. And we got the first round pick of the Bears who are like trying to mold the QB and have Andy Dalton QBing them right now. And they're going to have Fields play at some point.
And listen, I don't care how good a rookie quarterback is. When they eventually play, it's very hard to get wins. And hopefully, I don't think the Bears are going to be the worst team in the league. But if that turns into like a top 5, even a top 10 pick,
even a top 10,
it's a huge, huge selection for the Giants.
Yes. First off, let's just say Daniel Jones is great. That means then we still have 2 first rounders. If he isn't good by I think he's great. But if he isn't, we have options to move up. We can pair picks together. We have 2 thirds and 2 firsts. Because they got.
Who would you trade for if you could?
Well, he's talking about drafting his replacement if it comes to it. But I really don't think that's going to be the case.
I don't either. I'm a big believer in it.
Let's put it to you like this: Daniel Jones has the size, the athleticism, and the arm that you're looking for. The main criticism on him is the turnovers, and a lot of that I feel like is contributed one to the Giants' O-line being absolutely terrible. Now with our coaching second year in the system, I think it'll be better.
Much better.
Without having the weapons, which Gettleman and Judge and whoever was actually really running the draft got them. Now they got some speed on the outside. And what I like about Kadarius Toney is he does a lot of the things that Waddle does. He's not like a precise route runner, but you get him the ball in space. He's a home run threat at any time to score, and it's just going to put a lot of pressure on the defense.
Yes. I feel like Toney is a cross between Curtis Samuel and Waddle. I think he's like somewhere in the middle. And I really think his skill set and play selection that you could do with him, no longer are we doing jet sweeps to Evan Ingram, which is a big plus because we don't need Evan Ingram getting his hands on the ball more. Okay. We need him more in the decoy mode. This guy can run. You better put someone on him. Let's throw it to other people, please.
Do you think that the Pats make it to the playoffs? Patriots?
No, I don't.
Really?
Although
they had a lot of injured guys last year.
Well, a lot of their guys opted out on defense, and they're getting them all back this year.
That's what I'm saying.
Look, they signed Nelson Aguilar. They drafted Ramondre Stevenson, which I think is a monster pick for them. If he gets the ball, he'll be good. That guy's a beast. He's a running back out of Oklahoma. I liked him a lot.
Listen, here's the thing with the Patriots, okay? And I'll tell you this right now. The karma factor on Bill Belichick, you can't because let me tell you something about him. The guy's fucked people he tried to run Tom Brady out of town 5 years ago. He's won 3 Super Bowls since. He's been looking for his replacement ever since. Now he's got, Cam Newton, washed up Cam, and a quarterback that has a worse body than Brady had when he got drafted. Okay,
I'm sorry. I think I look. I make
heavy knowledge.
Yo, all kidding aside, Scott, we all look better than him with our shirts off, and that's bad. Like the guy, it is a problem. Look,
how's his hairline?
No, listen, I'll say this about Mac Jones. Mac Jones, one of the most accurate quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life. You know,
yes.
I don't care that he played for Alabama with all the other guys. He put the ball on the money almost every time. And if you watch the plays that he makes, you know, he's just not that athletic, but he's very smart and he does throw. He has nice touch and very good accuracy. So, you know, he could definitely be a good pickup for them. But, you know, here's the thing. Tom Brady's like a once in a lifetime kind of guy. And just to think they're going to have that kind of success after what they've had. And listen, look, they won enough Super Bowls. They should never win again. Fuck them. Okay?
Yeah, no, I know. You're absolutely. Listen,
see you later.
As a Jet fan, I agree with that.
If there really is football gods, they have gotten their full, and it's time for other people to win. I totally.
Wait, Mike. What do you mean that they tried to run Tom Brady out?
He wanted to trade Tom Brady and keep Garoppolo 4 years ago, and he got overruled by Robert Kraft.
Yeah,
you know, Robert Kraft was, you know. What?
No, you can finish. I was going to say, you know, that always stuck in Brady's crow, and he couldn't wait to get out of there at the very first. Brady did it perfect. He knew that they were done talent-wise, and he went to the best possible situation he could have, and I don't blame him. Because Belichick is a dick.
He heard Brady was going to – well, I'll tell you, when Robert Kraft, you know, he's the one that stuck up for Brady, and, you know, he was pissed. It ruined one of his fucking massages, okay? He heard that they're trying to trade Tom Brady. He had to get up off the table, call Belichick and be like, listen, let's ship Garoppolo out. And then Belichick just gave Garoppolo away for a second-round pick because he didn't care.
Yeah.
Never thinking in a million years, oh, wait a minute, Tom Brady's going to leave, go to Tampa, and win the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah, it is amazing. I mean,
ridiculous.
Rumor has it is that Robert Kraft didn't even get jerked off that day. You know, this rumor has it.
No. The rumor is he didn't even come.
No, he came, but nothing came out. It was just like a powder. It was like
it's a shooting blank.
I thought that was the norm
for the Patriots franchise going up in smoke. Okay, that's what happened to Robert Kraft.
Speaking of the draft too, though. Let's keep it in the AFC East. The Jets had a great draft. The Jets, unbelievable. I thought they did really good. I thought they addressed the line. They absolutely solidified the left side of their line. They got Becton and Vera. Now they got Elijah Moore, the receiver. They got Michael Carter, you know, the running back. And I mean, obviously Wilson. You know, I think they did really, really well.
Listen, it's a shock to anybody that knows the Jets to see them actually operating in a competent manner. That's the thing.
Seeing them ran professionally. Yeah.
It comes down to Zach Wilson and if he's going to be good or not. And I will say this about Zach Wilson. He has a lot of flair and I like his personality. You know, Sam Darnold had the personality of a tree stump. Okay.
Yeah. You know, no, I know.
When he came in and I do like the guy, but it's like, anyway,
now I don't think he was meant for New York. It's like he had no he had no balls. Well, I don't know how to.
He wasn't made for Broadway. Zach Wilson, you know. I mean, I just want to take this time to welcome Zach and his mom to New York. I mean, no, listen, I feel bad for the guy. Not even to make fun of him, but like, you know, his mother's a pretty lady. But like, if you guys were looking at Twitter, I mean. They were just, you know,
why
they were just like talking about, oh, look at his mom, this and that. We don't know which one's his girlfriend. I mean,
listen, I didn't know which. We thought it was his girlfriend at first, and it was his mom. I mean, she looks really, really good.
Yeah, well, I mean, I never seen my mom wearing a leopard coat, you know. So
really,
you know, we're getting a little older now, though. So you know, but I mean, yeah, no, she looked good, and I hope for Zach Wilson's sake. You know, he's going to be exciting. He's going to get thrown into the fire pretty quickly. And I do think there's value on him to bet him actually for Rookie of the Year. Right now, he's depending on the site that you go on, he's either plus 800 to plus 1,000. And you know he's going to be the starter. See, here's the thing. You know he's going to be the starter right from the jump. The Jets, you know, it's hard to pick the Rookie of the Year because you got to figure it's probably going to be one of the quarterbacks. The fact that they have Trey Lance listed at plus 500 to me is insane.
Yeah, well, he's not supposed to play. He's not really supposed to play. Listen, the guys for Rookie of the Year, in my opinion, are, I mean, Zach Wilson's a good one. I think Najee Harris is a good one, and Chase is a good one. If you want to get a little more I mean, you can go with Pitts too. I think those four, and I mean, obviously Lawrence, you know, fifth.
Well, here's the thing. Well, here's
they're gonna. If Lawrence is good at all, he's getting it.
It's just like your jersey. It's the LaMelo Ball factor. They're
just like LaMelo Ball.
Lawrence if it's close. If it's close, they're going to give it to Lawrence. That's the thing. But like he would have to get hurt like Joe Burrow did, and someone would have to really play out of their minds like Herbert did, because for them not to give it to the number one pick, that he'll probably get it.
Yes.
So he's only his odds right now are plus 300. There's no value on that. I'm talking about looking for value down the line.
Yes.
Because that's what we do here at Big Mike Knows Sports Betting. We let you know the value before it happens.
Yes,
that's
of course.
That's what we're here to do for you. I like the Toney pick, like we talked about. It was easily the best Kadarius in the draft. So that was huge that we got him. Easily the best Kadarius.
Easily the best Kadarius.
And just like we got the best disease in the draft too. Now that Ojulari pick was huge, because let me tell you something. There was talk in a lot of mocks, listen to this, of the Giants taking Ojulari with the 11th overall pick, okay? Because they needed a pass rusher. Everybody knows that. So the fact that they were able to trade down, knowing that the teams that were picking there were going for these kind of like fringe linemen and, and some receiver types, the Giants did such a great job. And you got to give, whoever was pulling Gettleman's puppet strings the credit for that. We all know Gettleman wasn't doing that on his own accord.
It was Judge and the guy Pettit. There's a guy Pettit in their scouting department that's big in their brain trust. It was definitely between him and Judge, I think.
Well, listen, it was smart. The board fell the way that they needed it to, and the Giants made a lot of nice moves. They got some good pieces while also preparing themselves for the future. So you got to like the direction that the Giants are heading. For the Giants, the bottom line is it's going to all come down to Daniel Jones this year. Obviously, we're all very high on him because we know what he brings to the table. I feel like his turnover issues, they talk about the first year. Everybody forgets Peyton Manning was 1-15 in his first year. And
Russell Wilson,
all rookies ever in interceptions.
Russell Wilson had more fumbles than anybody in his rookie year. It's not about that.
Listen, the talk of his fumbling last year, he didn't really fumble that much, especially the last 4 or 5 games of the season. He didn't turn the ball over at all.
Listen, and anybody who watches football, actually watches and pays attention, knows that if he didn't get hurt last year, the Giants were going to win that division. They were up and coming. They were rising. He got hurt, and it literally killed all the momentum of the season. It just
here's the thing: as far as the Giants go, we're talking about win totals, and I don't know if it's going to change by the time they're actually up. But they were released, and the Giants over under is 7, which is insane because the Giants were 6-10 last year, and now there's an extra game. They think they're only going to win one more game. Yeah. That is one of our best bets.
Yes.
You got to lock that in. Giants.
Listen, save up some money.
If the Giants are terrible, the worst you're going to do is push on that. That's free money from the big.
It's a free 1,000 in my opinion.
The nose, okay? The nose knows. That is the bet to make. Giants over 7.
Yes.
Lock that shit up.
Listen, you should be saving money for that right now, Scott, and anybody who's watching and listening, because
they were not that bad last year.
No, and their defense is even better this year, and their offense is insanely better. Look, they should be better, okay? And not only that, they have a full training camp. There's no more of these COVID protocols. Like they have a full.
Never read at COVID anyway.
Yeah, but now, listen, they had a brand new coach last year. He has a whole off season now with a year under his belt. And he can actually have an off-season program that guys can come to and actually like work out at the facility, because they weren't allowed to, this past year. I can't stress enough how trading back and getting a first and a third next year, though, is monstrous. Because like I said earlier, next year's draft is deeper. It's longer because there's going to be more players actually in the draft because of all the guys that were allowed to go back because of the eligibility with COVID. They did really well, and they still got who they wanted and addressed big needs. Like the cornerback that they got in the 3rd round. What's his name? Is it
Robinson?
Yes, Robinson, Amari Robinson. That guy looked awesome. Okay, on tape at least.
He's a real good tackler. He played at UCF, which is they've been like a football power the last few years.
He was originally on Bama too, so he's recruited by by heavy D1, top D1. He went to Bama first. So I think they may have found the diamond in the rough. He reminds me a lot of Janoris Jenkins when they drafted him, but this guy can actually tackle. I really do. I love it.
Look, the sky's the limit for the Giants. The main key is, they hopefully Saquon is back healthy, and they need the O-line to make strides because everybody knows that's still the weak part of their team.
Yeah.
I feel like the coaches, they must think that they could coach him up. They definitely got better as the season went along. They're adding Nate Solder back into the mix. He'll spell both tackles.
The only thing is they added Soldier back, but they lost Zeitler. That's the only thing but
here's the
like
thing.
Lemieux.
Listen, here's the thing. They were the worst line in the league with Zeitler. They can be the worst line in the league without him. Okay, so
yes, I know. I'd rather have Galladay.
I'd rather have Galladay too. Listen, look, what the Giants did was they made life as good as they could for Daniel Jones. They got him as many weapons as you could ask for. There really is no excuse for him. If he's not the reason why they're winning games, then and I'm one of his biggest supporters, it would be time to move off of him. But I have the utmost faith and confidence that Daniel Jones is going to come out and light it up because Daniel Jones first of all, for a guy that supposedly quote sucks, they treat him like he's John Elway. Every misstep. Well, Joe Montana wouldn't have done that. What are you guys kidding me? He can't make a mistake. If he makes any mistake, he's the worst guy that ever lived. Okay, so it's absolutely ridiculous. If you watch the guy play, you know how talented he is. The Giants are headed in the right direction. I don't think
you got to trust your eyes when it comes to Daniel Jones right now. You just got to trust your eyes. The guy has every tool in the tool bag. He really does. He can run, he can throw, and he's smart. I have all good things to say about him. I really do.
He needs some time in the pocket. He needs to have time. He's not a Russell Wilson. He needs time in the pocket.
Well, you are right about that, Scott. The one thing that he has to realize, though, Daniel Jones, what he does do that I don't like is, it's actually a two-edged thing. He holds the ball a little too long, but that's because he's always looking downfield trying to make a play. Now, you got to be able to feel the rush a little bit better, though, because there are a lot of times where he gets hit from the back. But a lot of the times, the guys are coming in on block. And I don't care if you're Daniel Jones or Patrick Mahomes or whoever. If you guys are not getting blocked, you're going to get blindsided and you're going to drop the ball, okay? It's going to happen.
Hey, look at the Super Bowl last year. I mean, Mahomes had no blocking, and look how that ended up.
Look what happened. He couldn't do a thing. And they have weapons out the ass.
Yeah.
They couldn't do a damn thing. And you're right. Listen, look, you're only as good as your O-line. Anybody that watches football and knows football knows that they're the unsung heroes. That's why
you got to be able to block, and you got to be able to, to rush their quarterback. If you can keep your quarterback up and knock their quarterback down, it's a big plus. We
all played football, and like for me, like when I was a quarterback, and my line is the reason why we were good. Listen, every team guys are good. The difference of the game is the lines, and that's the thing I worry about with the Giants. Their offensive line, it does leave a lot to be desired. But listen, look, they've attributed a lot of draft capital to try to, over the past 3-4 years. So hopefully they're going to develop these guys. We've heard good things about the new O-line coach. And that's the key to the team. If the O-line can play, listen, they were the worst in the league last year. If they could just be average, and I'm not even talking great, I'm talking average, the Giants are going to be a team to be reckoned with, of course.
Yes. Look, they're not an easy win on anyone's schedule, especially just by coaching alone. Like, they come to play. These guys will die on the field for Joe Judge, which I can't stress enough how much of a benefit that is for the Giants. Because like these guys play for him and they love him, and you could see it. The guy just exudes confidence. Like I feel great about.
What do you have a guess for the record? What do you have? Overall,
I personally think they're going to be fighting for the division with Dallas and Washington, because Washington does have a good defense. But
listen, realistically, for the Giants,
8 wins. Okay? I mean, come on, why not?
Listen, 8-8. I would feel like. Listen, look, they could really go depending on the breaks, injuries. I feel like they're anywhere between 7-9 and 10-6, possibly. Well, actually, there's an extra game now, so we don't really have like the numbers exact. But I think anywhere between 7 to 10 wins is probably their range, and a lot of that depends on injuries. How do they play? How does the O-line, do? How does Daniel Jones play? It's football. Listen, the year the Giants made the playoffs, they got every break. They won all the games close. That's that's football.
Do you remember that Minnesota game when we left? I'll never forget that. Eli threw 5 picks, 2 went to the house. We left. We were like, "There's no way this team could ever win." All of a sudden, they get they get in the playoffs, and they went on one of the most improbable runs you've ever seen in your life. I mean, it takes a lot of breaks for that to happen, but I mean, I'm not really expecting that this year. I really think the Giants' year is the year after. It's not this year. They're going to see a big leap. They're going to be much better, I think. I think Daniel Jones.
Here's the one thing with the Giants, because we are Giants fans. Look, the Giants last year could have easily beat Tampa Bay. They were in the game with every team, but you got to do the little things that are necessary to win football games. And if they can, and I feel like they're in that direction, the Giants could beat any team on any given week. There's no doubt about it.
You're going to call me crazy for saying this. I mean, most people would, but if the Eagles didn't throw that game last year, I really believe the Giants would have gave Tampa everything they could have handled. We were a picked up flag away from going to overtime with them in the regular season. I mean, people forget that. And we're Tom Brady's worst nightmare.
Well, everybody knows the last thing Tom Brady wants to see is the team that in the playoffs.
Yes, especially a G-men team that is like wheeling and dealing, that can actually play.
The Giants got a great team.
The Giants.
Yes, agreed.